What's up guys, it's your favorite Kiwi coach. You give me 6 months of your time, I'll give you the best golf swing
of your life.
Whoa! So welcome back to your channel guys. As you guys see, we have another lesson with one of our clients. So let's go have him introduce himself.
今日はローテーションのタイミングと打ち出し角が高いのを少しコーチに見てもらおうと思ってます。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。Okay, so we can tell him basically the lesson has started. I want him to hit like 2 swings. I'll get like a face on down the line, and then we'll go from there. And then let's go one more swing. Okay, so I know kind of the main points of concern for him was going to be timing of rotation, but I think the main reason why that was a concern was because he was a little bit worried about the trajectory being too high. Am I correct in that?
いや、回転は以前もレッスンを受けてて、キウイコーチのアーリーローテーションを少し取り組んでたんですけど、腰の回転とかは意識できるようになってきたんですけど、今度はインパクトの時にちょっと回転が足りないような感じがしてて、よくちょっと確認してほしいなという。
Understood. But then the root kind of ball flight worry is going to be the high trajectory, correct? All right. Now, also when it comes to contact, does he feel like he's hitting some kind of thin shots, as well as does he feel like when he's on the course, he's really just brushing the grass as opposed to kind of compressing the ball? Is that what he's feeling as well?
ターフが深いですね。
Okay, so when he's hitting deep shots, it's very far behind the ball, I'm guessing, or is it ahead of the ball and then really deep as well?
ほとんどボールぐらい。
Okay, so the bottom of the swing is pretty much at the ball and then it's really, really deep? Okay. That's interesting. So let's go take a look at his golf swing. Actually, when I see his golf swing, I would almost think the opposite based off the positions. So maybe that's because, he's trying to react to that deep strike, and that's kind of why the swing has shifted to what it's shifted. But let's just break down the swing. So let's start around this kind of P6 position. So at this position, there's 2 things here. So the first is the club head positioning is going to be more so towards the heel side. Would you agree?
Right.
Yeah, so behind the hands, or you could say underneath the plane. Yeah, now when we look at the arm, it's also in a relatively pretty good spot at 12 degrees. So from this position, most people, if they have a deep strike, it would tend to be a lot more behind the ball. And actually, most of the time with this club head position, you would see more of a sweeper of the ball, like a really high trajectory kind of sweeping shot, not really a low trajectory deep shot. So I know one of his concerns is the high trajectory. So this would definitely make sense for that. Now, having a deep strike at the ball would not, maybe possible, but wouldn't be the more likely thing I'd see from here. But no matter what, I think this will be the start of what we fix. Now, tell him the second thing I see from here is as he starts to approach the golf ball, we're going to see that the pressure in the front part of the foot, in the left foot, starts to come off the ground quite early. And that's going to get him to, in my opinion, tend to hit more up on the ball, and also makes sense for the trajectory to be really high. So he's kind of sweeping up on the ball, low point kind of at the ball, and then really high trajectory. Yeah. So essentially what he's doing is as he's coming down, Ayano, he's kind of coming like this. So this is probably why he feels like he doesn't have enough rotation, which you could argue yes. But more so, I think what's happening, Ayano, is he's really just moving into the heel really early, kind of backing away from the ball. And you could almost say, not really, kind of early extending, but the main thing is he has too much pressure on the heel. So to give you an example, let's say impact feels more this way versus maybe this way. So basically, he thinks that's not enough rotation, which you could argue maybe yes, like the body probably doesn't look as rotated as it should be. But I think it's more of a pressure issue than it is a rotation issue. Now, maybe right now this doesn't make any sense. I could tell he has no clue. It's gonna make a lot more sense once I start to show you the feel between kind of bad and good, and then you'll be like, oh, that's what I was feeling on the course. It'll make sense then. Now, I think that the net results of kind of that footwork that we just discussed, we're going to see that basically the alpha rotation is probably happening a little early, or you could say maybe kind of early releasing on the alpha. So I'll show him what that means. So at this position, we want to see the grip in where it is, so he's actually in a good spot here. But now when the hands kind of get situated in the middle of the pelvis, you'll note that your your shaft is pretty much parallel to the arm, which is pretty early for this position. So most people would be a little bit closer over to here. Yeah, so this would make sense why the ball is going very high, right? So I think in review, the simple approach to fixing the current issue is not really focusing on rotation, because if we rotate and we still put all the pressure in the heel too early, we're not going to get any type of different results. We're just going to have a different swing direction potentially. So what I want to do is focus on the footwork first. That should shift not only the strike location, but also it should help him with the early release of the alpha, and he should have more, you could say, handle first and hit the ball a little lower. So let's make this easy for him. So before we give him like a whole breakdown of how the heel should be working, I feel like he's still a tiny bit lost, So I want to do some like good, bad feelings so he can kind of get the, oh yeah feeling. And then once he has a better understanding of that, then I'll go more breakdown of exactly what we're trying to do. All right, guys, that's it for you guys on YouTube. But before you guys click off, let's have him give some quick wrap-ups of what he's learned so far.
今日は足のフットワークを教えていただいたんですけど、自分でも思いつかないような角度から教えていただいて、練習方法も教わったので、これから頑張っていきたいと思います。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。